You don't pay. Oh.
Oh, it didn't send mine, did it?
No, it did not.
Yeah, because I don't pay them.
Yeah, I got you. Let me see. Is mine live? Oh, yeah, mine's live.
All
Nice.
right, we'll see how it does. Yeah.
Let's just see if any traction get. And
if it works, I'll pay him. I don't care.
Yeah. No. Okay, let's go. All right, we're talking about topics today. Awesome. If you're just joining us, see, there's already 17 streamers watching. It's got to be faster. Okay, topics today include, I'm just going to put this in here. We're in your neighborhood, which is applicable to me. Poshmark new fee structure. Oh, man. And then we're doing AI IRL and a smaller budget equal more headaches. Awesome. That's great.
Yeah,
if you're
just not wrong. I'm going to do this with mine too, because
look at that, 36 now.
For Mac Geek Gab. Yeah. You're totally right.
It's faster. It's because we have the depth and the show doesn't. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Our engagement is way more. And so it's great when we can do it for all of them. So we're just figuring out, folks, how to stream from all of our accounts at the same time. Before we were streaming just from the Business Brain account, and now we're going to stream from everybody's account. It's going to be amazing. Can't wait. We got some good topics today. If you're just joining us, we record 2 episodes, and one episode pushes out to podcast tomorrow, and the other one pushes out on Friday. And the reason why we do 2 episodes is because we get a lot more engagement with shorter shows. And
no, I don't want to pay with that card. I want to pay with a different card. Come on, Apple Pay.
If you think that it's because we have a short attention span now, you might be right. Although I was a guest on a podcast yesterday. It was 90 minutes, and I could have talked for like another hour. But that's just me because I have a big mouth. So, and who doesn't like to hear their own voice?
It's hard. It's hard for us with Mac Geek Gab to keep that. I aim at 75 minutes, and it's tough. But it's good.
But, yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, our audience is a little different. I'm gonna pop myself up here a little bit, but I like it. I like our 20-minute.
I like this too. Yeah, same.
It's because that's sometimes I feel like you're dragging it out in order to get a little more time, or you start revisiting the topic over and over, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. So
no.
Okay, I can't see I don't want to see myself in the feed. Perfect. That's great. You got yourself upgraded?
Well, it takes a couple of days.
Oh, yeah, that's great. It's worth it.
Maybe.
I think it is. I
don't know. I haven't seen any benefit on any of the accounts that I've upgraded.
I have seen benefits on dramatically, but I was starting at 0 to 1, so where you were already at another level. So maybe it's more beneficial for accounts with less credibility. I don't know. Now
I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen it on the Business Brain account, have we?
No,
I haven't seen any benefits there.
I don't know how much. What's the? Let's see. 756 followers. Okay, we're gonna have to track this because we got to get to 1,000.
Yeah.
That she's posting, a couple times a day, 4 times a day.
Yeah.
She reposts a lot. Okay. That's a good point. It's helped me a lot, but like I said, I don't know about that. I think the personal part is the lever. The connection, it's easier to connect with you and I than it is to connect with our podcast page.
Yeah, but what's the benefit of being verified? I have no problem connecting with people.
They move you higher in
results.
I
see. Okay.
Yeah, so you come up more.
Leveraging, it allows you to better leverage the personal connection that you already have.
Correct. You're going to show up in the
I see what you're saying.
More in the For You feed. You'll definitely show up more. And typically, like even this, we don't usually have over 100 viewers in the first 4 minutes.
It's true.
It takes us maybe 20 minutes. So I'm always talking about we just gotta chat for 10 minutes while people stream in and roll in here. But
well,
cool.
I mean, you have tens of thousands of followers, whereas our Business Brain account has 796 or something. Right?
That makes sense.
It
makes sense. So you push out to 31,000. I'm hoping to hit 31,100 or no, 31,100 today. The last 1,000 followers have been brutal. It's such a game. It's amazing. All right, I'm ready whenever you are. If you want to start the show,
hang on.
Okay,
do this. There's going to be a. We're gonna break the space-time continuum for a second.
Oh, that's crazy. That's
You're
messing with my head. The simulation.
That's right. Did I test the ads? I think.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Okay. I have memory of this. All right.
We're sponsored by Notion today, folks, which is awesome. Incredible app. I hope you use it.
All right, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay. I think I'm doing this right.
I hope so. It's only been 10 years.
See what happens. Business Brain, episode 588 for Wednesday, October 9th, International Beer and Pizza Day 2024. Woohoo! Folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where you send in a few ideas, we send in a few ideas, we all take a few ideas, we crunch them, we dissect them, we analyze them, we use them to tune our business brains to better our shot at living those charmed lives. Our sponsor for this episode is Notion.com/businessbrain. Notion is this awesome project management thing that combines like your docs, knowledge base, AI all together in one. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. You can try it for free at notion.com/businessbrain. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, running 100 miles an hour, I'm Dave Hamilton.
Yeah, out here in Lafayette, California, same thing. We're hustling. You know, I was speaking of beer and pizza, that's like the best day ever.
I know.
We were in New York, as I mentioned, we were in New York City last week, and one of our favorite restaurants makes a pizza where it's kind of a combination chicken parm pizza thing. And they take the chicken and they flatten it so thin that the crust of the pizza is the chicken.
Oh,
all right.
What?
And then they put the marinara sauce, the cheese, and they sprinkle pepperonis on the top, and they called it chicken parm pepperoni. And man, It's life-changing. It's called Cafe del Arte. It's up by 57th Street, and man, it is awesome. It's great. I love it. Yeah, I highly recommend it if you ever get a chance to have it, because it's a different kind of pizza.
Yeah, that's different for sure.
It tastes amazing. Hey, so if you're listening in the background, you might hear some buzzing because I have some folks at my house taking some trees down with their chainsaws and everything, and they hit. I don't know if this happens in your area, but in our area, we often get people come to like this. When they drove up our driveway, we have this steep driveway, and I was in my office. I looked down and said, "What's this person doing in the driveway?" And so I went down, and she says, "Hey," I could tell she was with the tree company because she had a pamphlet, tree service, and she said, "Hey, we're in your neighborhood, right?" And I thought that is such a powerful statement because it's like, "Hey, we're already working with your neighbors," so that gives them a little credibility.
It gives them third-party trust, right?
Yep. Third-party trust. Your neighbors hired me, so why wouldn't you? And I said, okay, I wasn't really planning, but I do had some trees that I wanted taken out. I did.
Yep.
I did some a couple years ago, and I was kind of waiting and budgeting. And they offered me a great price to take these 9 trees we're having taken out down the hill in front of our house. And I got to thinking of this "we're in your neighborhood" thing because she was showing me. I was negotiating with her as all good entrepreneurs should do. Yep. And she was showing me her cost structure. She had it in a little note on her phone, and this many guys cost this much, cost that. And I said, well, that's great because you can keep all your guys working. You're right down the street. You don't have to go far. I was trying to drive the number down a little bit,
of course.
which I was able to do. And it got me thinking about other things that you sell that you could use the "we're in your neighborhood" strategy.
Okay.
So because they're like I spent like $4,300 to take these 9 trees out, which is a great price.
Sure.
But they're keeping their crews working, and hopefully she's moving down the neighborhood just doing these deals, right?
Right.
And like if I'm selling something on eBay or on my website or whatever, there's lots of other things I'd like to inventory that I have that I really just want to get my cost out of, right? Because as a reseller, there's always stuff that doesn't sell. And, even if you're into it for zero or a small amount of money, why not? Everybody has this. Hey, these are add-on items you can add to your thing. Amazon,
Sure.
Other people bought this, but actually change it a bit and help you move products that you just want to get rid of. Some excess, something, maybe it's a last year's model, maybe it's whatever, but can you drive the number down so low? Because when I see those, it's not like I think it's a deal, but if somebody said, hey, here's this thing and it's 50% off or 70% off if you buy it when you're ordering this.
Right now.
Right now, there's no extra shipping. We're going to cover the cost of this item. I just think it's an opportunity that
I see that a
looking
lot
at it that way.
when I buy CBD online a lot. You know, and in the checkout will be like, if you add this thing, and sometimes it's for your pets, or sometimes it's for you, like, this salve or something. Like I'm buying CBD capsules or gummies or something. And then it's like, here's this lotion or whatever. And the price is way less. It's like 40% of what the price would be on the website.
Listed on the site. So if you went and looked at it, you'd see it. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad people are doing it.
And I've even gone through, obviously, open another browser, try and buy that thing. Sure. What happens? And it's like, oh, yeah, no. Like, if I were to do that, like, it's legitimate. It's exactly what you're saying.
That's perfect. So I'm behind the 8 ball. So I love
that doesn't mean
no. But I just thought that concept of that. Hey, we're already here. You're already buying this thing. And maybe you have to get it to them a little later in the checkout. I don't know, but something where they're committed. So maybe it's even when their credit card is already entered, you could say, hey, this or something. It's kind of interesting to me. They've figured it out at this one place. I go to CBDFX. I'll put that link in the show notes. Yeah,
but
let's send them some business.
They're really good about, and the deals are legitimately good. Like it's not BS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. You can't trick people and be like, oh, it's $10 off, or it doesn't work.
No, right. It's legitimately a good deal, and it's clear they're trying to push out inventory. So
makes sense. Interesting idea. If you do it, let us know. Feedback at businessbrain.show. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, folks, listen, have you ever felt like you're juggling 10 different tools just to keep your business brain organized? Well, drop those digital bowling pins and let me introduce you to our sponsor, Notion, your all-in-one workspace for total business brilliance. I've been using Notion with one of my businesses, and it's fantastic. It's like somebody took a Swiss Army knife and said, hey, let's make this digital and give it AI for days, right? Notion combines notes, docs, projects, and tasks all in one beautifully designed space. And the AI, it's like having a personal assistant who already knows everything you've ever worked on. No more jumping between apps. It's all right there. Notion AI can search, generate, analyze, and even chat with you, pulling from GPT-4 and Claude, which means you get answers fast, whether it's digging through thousands of docs or pulling insights from Slack discussions, Google Docs, and more. And don't worry, your privacy is locked down tight. No data gets used to train the AI models, right? This is important. So if you're ready to simplify your workflow, save time, and feel like a productivity wizard, try Notion for free when you go to notion.com/businessbrain. That's all lowercase letters, notion.com/businessbrain to try the powerful, easy to use Notion AI today. And when you use our link, you're supporting the show. Notion.com/businessbrain. Fortune 500 companies are using it, and so can you. Trust me, your business brain will thank you, and we thank Notion for sponsoring this episode. All right, Shannon. We have time for just one more topic for today,
Yes,
don't we?
yes. So we do. I want to talk about. I've talked about this before on the show. I started a handbag business on Poshmark as an experiment. Sold about $3.7 million worth of bags, and Poshmark used to charge 20%. For their fees. And I was okay with that because they offered a lot. Free authentication. They paid all the credit card fees, discounted shipping. So I never had to pay for shipping. They ate it. It was like $7.95, which saved me, probably $7 or $8 per box. And they managed all the fraud, and they pay a ton of money to get your results up in Google. They're paying for Google Shopping and all that stuff on top. So you're not just regulated to their platform. They're pushing it out on this and spending millions of dollars on SEO. I was okay with that.
Got it.
But, it seems high and everything. So what's fascinating is on October 1st, they sent a message out to all their users and said, tomorrow, a new fee structure is starting. And it's basically 5.9% for 6% for sellers, plus $1, $2, or $3, depending upon the anything over $50, you pay $3 plus 6%. Under 50, it's 2, and under like 20, it's like I think I have it the opposite. In any event, the 1, 2, 3 is not the huge thing, but between 15 and 50 is $2. 15 over is $3 plus the 6%. But the fascinating thing about it is that the buyers are also going to pay that 6% when they buy. And I did a post about it. I know you're searching. I'll put it here so you can reference it. I'll put it in our chat.
Sure.
And there's a lot of uproar over it, and people are, it'll never work. Buyers will never pay.
Sure.
But I actually think that there's some method to their madness here. They've obviously figured out that the biggest growth they have are live shows and people selling live on the platform.
Okay.
But a lot of that stuff is inexpensive. And I think they're hungry to get the high dollar sellers that may have left to other platforms. And so lowering that to 6% plus 20%, it would have helped me dramatically. I'm selling $1,000 bag. I would, certainly would have saved a significant, or $2,000 bag, saved a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And
your buyer on a bag, I'm looking at this chart that somebody put together on Reddit, and which I'll also link to. Perfect. And it shows that where the old fee and now the new, fee would factor in. And as soon as you hit about $100 on the item price, the fees are less.
Correct.
All in combined, right?
Yes.
So before $100, it's actually a little bit more, sometimes quite a bit more. But once you're $100 and over, the grand sum total of the fees on any given sale is less. It's just a different structure. So,
different structure, yeah. And I've about 73% of everything I sold on that platform was from a best offer. Okay. It's all an offer game on that platform. So I think that the buyers are, theoretically can just offer less, right? And the seller may say, okay, well, I'm going to eat that quote 6% fee because, on top of the fee, they have to pay sales tax for each state. And
I think I saw a note, they are calculating the fee post shipping and
just
tax.
like eBay. eBay's the same way.
Correct.
They all do that now.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no more angle to it. And so I'm curious to see how it's going to work. They're offering some discounted shipping plans called Posh Pass, where the buyers can get shipping for $5.95 if you're buying from a Poshmark ambassador, which is kind of their top-rated seller program.
Sure.
And what I actually like about it is it's different. It's change. What kind of threw me for a loop is they gave everybody 24-hour notice. And so it wasn't like, eBay used to do this stuff all the time, and it would drive sellers crazy. They'd make changes like right before the holidays, and you'd be like, what the heck, man? We got to introduce all this new stuff. It's our busiest time of the year.
Yeah.
I think that if you're going to make dramatic and drastic changes like this, I would say you want to give them a couple week notice to make any adjustments. Maybe they have to change things on their pricing structure. I don't know.
This is a tough time of year to change that stuff in the consumer market. Yes.
Yeah. And I think their GMV, their gross market volume is down. Certainly it's down from COVID, probably like everybody. So they're trying to make more money on those low dollar, I had one person describe them to me like crack shoppers, people that buy in the live things that are $10, $20, $30.
Sure.
They want to make more money on that, and they want to make sure they protect their high dollar sellers that they're going to make $100, $200, $300 from when they're selling. It's interesting, and I wonder, my eBay selling fees based on discounts and everything you get, best price I get them down to is about 12%.
Okay.
There's some other incentives that you can get to it, but it's fascinating. All the buyers are saying, "Oh, I'm not going to pay that." And it's like, well, I wonder if it'll just they will. If you want it bad enough, you got to think the overall deal. Is it a good price, including your 6%? And if sellers can't sell, they'll lower those prices or they'll accept your offer. That's going to take that into account a little more.
You just shave it off the top and make an offer. That's it.
It'll equalize. I think it's going to equalize.
2 weeks from now, no one's going to be talking about this. And maybe Poshmark timed this intentionally because of how crazy Q4 is. You do this to people in July when sales are slow. Everybody can ruminate about it and slow down. Right now, no.
Bitch and moan.
Yeah, right. But right now, everybody's moving really quickly, plowing through all of this. And so, within 2 weeks, it's just going to be water under the bridge. It's like, this is the way. That's it.
I think so, too.
This is the new way. Yeah.
I think so, too. I love this new structure as an average sale price of an items at my sale, $800, let's say, is the average sale price. It's better for high-end sellers, and I think that's where they're making more money, and they want to attract those sellers, or retain them, certainly, because there's certain brands that do really well there, and handbags are always in their top 5 categories. It's probably number 1. Women's fashion is number 1, and handbags are right up in there. But it's interesting. If you're an online seller, if you're selling at Poshmark, I'd love to get your take on it. You can find Dave at Dave Hamilton or at Shannon Jean up on X. Let us know what you think of it or how you're going to adapt to it. What changes do you have to put in place to not pay more money if you're a lower dollar seller? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Yep.
Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. Like he said, feedback at businessbrain.show. We would love to hear from you. We love all the interaction that we get. It's really a huge reason why we do this show. Keep living that charmed life. We'll see you on Friday.
Cool.
We're out. Yep.
Yeah, I like that idea. You might be right that they're not giving people time to complain too much.
Can you paste that link in our private chat? You pasted it in the comments.
I did.
And yes, so it's fine, but
it's kind of hidden. The way X does the comments.
I can't copy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it now? There you go. Should be in the private chat.
Yes, now I can actually copy the link address.
Perfect. That's cool. Really what I wanted. Yeah, it's interesting to see how it's going to all shake out, and they're a private company now. They're not public anymore, so we won't really see. Oh, they don't report to anybody. They got bought by a South Korean search engine company. Okay, so we'll see. It'll be
interesting.
Yeah, a lot of complaints back and forth, but people hate change, so I just think that's normal. Nothing new.
That's you're going to get that. That's just that's how it is.
I agree. All right, so now we're getting ready. Dave, if you're watching the stream, Dave is pushing buttons, spinning knobs, and getting the first episode ready because we call ourselves lazy podcasters. So right after the show, I will go do a few things with each episode so they publish quickly. We don't do a ton of post editing, which is great.
Not unless we have to.
Not unless we have to. If I screw up somehow and don't do something right. But Then right after this, we're going to record our Friday episode. We're going to talk about AI and how we're using it in this new segment we're calling AI IRL. So AI in real life, how we're using it. And then Dave's got a topic about
I've got
budgets.
an anecdote to share.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anecdotes are always fun. I like
think
that.
So.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
There's that. Oh,
I like it.
I didn't do that. So
And definitely looking at the streaming numbers, definitely doing it on our personal accounts, bringing more people because we're at 282.
Yeah. We just have your account. It's interesting the breakdown between who's watching on the Business Brain stream and who's watching on your stream.
Oh yeah, can I see that? If I
click, just float over the thing.
Oh yeah, so 257 on mine, 24 on Business Brain. But that kind of makes sense, right? 31,000 followers. Business Brain has 756.
Yeah, but we used to by this point we'd have 200 followers here on the stream.
That's true.
Right? So we are cannibalizing.
Yes.
Those 200 followers come from both of us.
Yes.
Right.
That's right.
So we're pushing, and I mean, some come from the thing itself, but it'll be interesting to see.
Because before, what I would do is I would quote tweet it, and then people would click through and find there, so it would report like it was coming from Business Brain.
Correct.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, it would misreport, I guess.
Yeah. I was on this show I was on yesterday, which is fascinating. It's called Clear the Shelf, and they're primarily Amazon sellers, but we were kind of trying to expand that out. And one of the things I liked at the beginning, they reminded people that they say, "Hey, we hope you love listening, but remember, this show is not free, and the price of getting to hear us every week and putting all the effort and putting the content is to go, leave us a review." Engage with us on some platform. That's what pushes us higher, that engagement, whether it's YouTube, whether it's X, whether, it's Spotify, whether it's Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all that stuff. And I would encourage everybody to do that.
We have a fairly sizable or a good percentage of our listenership on Spotify.
Nice.
We should do a Spotify poll.
Okay.
And we'll start it in the next episode.
Okay, great.
So the trick is, though, you have to go in and build the poll after the episode goes live. Oh. So it's a pain. Yeah, well, because it doesn't
while
exist
you're recording
otherwise.
It? Or no, you make the show
after
and then I see.
You publish it. Spotify slurps your RSS and sees it, and then you can go and add the poll to it.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, but it means that, on Friday morning, we have to, race to go do it, but whatever.
That'd be good.
So I think, one idea for the poll would be Spotify. Let's see, what would be a good thing? Oh, how often are you using AI in your business?
Great. I'd love that. Yep.
Right? And we'll just make that a Spotify poll. So
okay.
Spotify.
I can do the same poll on X, so we can try to tie them in maybe and see if we get some different feedback.
We should do the poll on the account for this to help build engagement for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it. Yep. I think it's great.
Fantastic. How often are you using AI in your business? Daily, weekly, monthly, never.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. I like it.
By the minute.
By the minute. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay, great. Where is...
I'm almost there. Am I?
Great.
I think I might be there.
You think you're there? Perfect.
It doesn't feel like I did all the things, but I did all the things. So, okay, great.
All right, perfect.
Let's ready to rock and roll. Oh, I should move the I have little visual indicators in our chapters document.
Nice.
Then if I don't move those, then I don't know where to go. Okay. I'm ready to rock.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Here we go. Same. Business Brain, episode 589 for Casual Friday, October 11th, National Spread Joy Day 2024. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take a few ideas, we dissect them, we analyze them, sometimes we even rant about them, but it's all in serving the purpose of tuning our business brains every single time we get together. Our sponsor for this week is Notion.com/businessbrain. That's where you can go to try out Notion for free. It combines project management with all your docs, your knowledge base, AI. They've got this beta connector thing that brings in your Slack and all this other cool stuff. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And out here in Lafayette, California, I'm still Shannon Jean.
How are you,
man? Happy Friday.
Yeah, I'm good.
I am.
Yeah, happy Friday. Happy.
Trying
Yeah,
to be.
that's good.
Trying to find my notes to see. Oh, we're talking about AI to get started today.
Well, yeah, we have a new segment that, it's a segment we've been doing for a little while, but now we have a name for it, which might need to be workshopped because it's hard to say. We're calling it AI IRL, which is AI in real life, because or maybe it's mind your AI business or something. Like I feel like there's a there's a well, it's fine. But it's how we're using AI in our businesses, because we're using it on a regular basis. And I think it was me that came across this one. I think it was one of the Mac Geek Gab listeners that turned me on to this engine called FreePik, FreePik.
That's right. Okay.
And they have an AI image generator there. You can use it for free. You can also pay. They give you like 20 credits a day, which is 20 images a day. And the images that it generates are so much better than what I've seen from ChatGPT.
Especially when it has people in it, right?
When it has people in it, yeah. And you can really describe, I described a band that I play in. Now, I didn't put in pictures of us, but I described the people sort of, and it looks like people.
Yeah, it looks like you with your shirt off there, banging the
It looks
drum.
like me with my shirt off. That's right. Yeah, that's how I look. Pretty
sweaty.
ripped. Yeah, sweaty and ripped. That's how I am at the end of every gig. But I told it to create, two guys podcasting.
Killer,
and it doesn't look like you and me.
No, but look at the shadowing and the
that's
shine.
The thing.
Like it looks like my forehead with the shine on there.
Yeah,
that's really
right.
cool.
Yeah. Well, and the shadow of lights and stuff.
Look at that. That's a big deal. That's good.
If you're not watching this, if you're listening, it really does a good job, and you can try it out for free. In fact, I have not yet paid for it and have used it I used it for last week's Mac Geek Gab image. We talked about smashing hard drives, and so I was like, all right, well,
that's cool.
What, let's find some geeks smashing hard drives in the kitchen. I forget, but it was like combine the kitchen with hard drives and hammers, and so like it just kind of started to come together. It was like,
that's really cool.
Like it looks like somebody in the kitchen with eggs and a hammer and a hard drive, and like this never happened.
Yeah,
and
that's
yet,
very cool.
So it's kind of cool.
I like it.
So I'm stoked about FreePik. So we'll put a link to that in the show notes. We want to know how you're using AI, folks. So tell us, first of all, at feedback@businessbrain.show. But also, for those of you on listen on Spotify, we're going to attach a poll to this episode. How often are you using AI in your business? And we will make sure that we put an option for never, because I believe that AI is evil. And I will tell you this. I don't necessarily disagree with you. However, what I currently believe is that if you're not using AI in your business, you have just given your competition a huge leg up. And it's, that ship has sailed is kind of my...
I agree. And so one of the AI services that I use is called Cast Magic, and it's amazing. It allows you to upload any audio or video, and it then gleans all the data out of it and creates other things related to that content. It'll create social media posts. It'll create blog posts, LinkedIn stuff. It'll give you facts. It'll allow you to create a little knowledge base from those things. And then it gives you control of that data. You can download it. You can do different things with it. Yeah. And you can do it with an RSS feed. So I take a link from one of our older podcasts if I'm trying to put together a concept to build it out, put it up in there. I really like it. They have a free version, which I think is great. It's definitely, I use it almost every day, probably every other day.
Amazing. Amazing. I love it. Yeah, I've got another one that we're probably going to start using for this show called FlowSend, but I'll save that for a future AIIRL segment. And but send us what you have, feedback at businessbrain.show. All right, folks, listen, have you ever felt like you're juggling 10 different tools just to keep your business brain organized? Well, drop those digital bowling pins and let me introduce you to our sponsor, Notion, your all-in-one workspace for total business brilliance. I've been using Notion with one of my businesses, and it's fantastic. It's like somebody took a Swiss Army knife and said, hey, let's make this digital and give it AI for days, right? Notion combines notes, docs, projects, and tasks all in one beautifully designed space. And the AI, it's like having a personal assistant who already knows everything you've ever worked on. No more jumping between apps. It's all right there. Notion AI can search, generate, analyze, and even chat with you, pulling from GPT-4 and Claude, which means you get answers fast, whether it's digging through thousands of docs or pulling insights from Slack discussions, Google Docs, and more. And don't worry, your privacy is locked down tight. No data gets used to train the AI models, right? This is important. So if you're ready to simplify your workflow, save time, and feel like a productivity wizard, try Notion for free when you go to notion.com/businessbrain. That's all lowercase letters, notion.com/businessbrain to try the powerful, easy to use Notion AI today. And when you use our link, you're supporting the show. Notion.com/businessbrain. Fortune 500 companies are using it, and so can you. Trust me, your business brain will thank you, and we thank Notion for sponsoring this episode. You know, one thing about AI, Shannon, I use AI to craft all of the sponsor reads that we do for this show. And I know I'm delaying our second topic here, but this is important.
Yeah.
I started doing it because I found that the sponsors will send us a list of bullet points, essentially. We call them talking points. And they'll say, pick 3 of these 5 and include them, or so, whatever. It's fine. Like, all good. I found, and they say make it your own, which I would. Except every time I got the same list of talking points, I would do the same thing, right? Because that's
totally
how
normal.
my
That's
brain
in your head,
works.
right? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was like, well, they want a fresh spot every time, which is why they're doing this. But I'm not delivering a fresh spot. I mean, technically it's a fresh spot. I'm following the instructions to the letter and my intentions are pure, but my brain is lazy, right? So
That's right.
I started using ChatGPT and now it mixes it up and it makes it great. And I even tell it, so you can go back and listen to the spots and look for these things. I tell it, make me say something like appropriate, but still sort of absurd, like in the spot, just to keep it interesting for all of us, right? Which is fine. And I've gotten to the point where I really trust it and I read it cold. Now, I record it ahead of time. So like if it's trying to have me say something terrible, I get out of it. But as I was listening to that spot, which I know it sounds like it was just put in the show, and it was, but I pre-recorded it so that I could like tighten it up and make sure it sounded good and all those things, because I don't want to stumble during an ad read. It had me say, trust me at the end.
Oh.
I don't like that phrase.
No, I don't like that either. No.
Yeah, and I just need to tell the AI don't use that phrase anymore. Yeah.
Don't use trust me or to if I'm being honest or
correct.
Those are not the right.
No, because it makes it sound. It makes it sound like, well, wait, should you not have trusted me before?
Correct. It causes the opposite. Yeah,
it causes the opposite. Yeah, exactly.
If you say truthfully or to be honest or trust me, the opposite in your head goes, what? I can't trust you. Are you?
I can't trust you. I had an M&A advisor years ago who told me, don't say honestly, say candidly. And I was
love that.
I like that. Yeah,
right. That's good. That's really good.
It's really good. Candid.
That's almost as good as your not apologizing in the email, but for a late reply, but saying, I appreciate your patience.
Yes.
Dude, I use that all the time. It is my go-to.
So
I will
good.
never apologize again for taking 2 or 3.
What's great
unless
is
I really screwed up, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't screw something up, but it's my fault. It doesn't matter, right? And
Sure.
so, like, there was something our organization screwed up today, and I have to own it.
Yeah, that's normal.
And so I apologize for that, but it meant so much. It felt like it meant so much more because
Yeah.
I'm not just throwing out apologies left and right. It's like,
Yes.
nope, I own this. We screwed this up. This
Right.
messes with
That's
you.
great.
I'm sorry. And they even wrote me back. They're like, oh my gosh, really don't worry about it. It's all fine. It's all good. And it really was. Like, it was, in the grand scheme of things, relatively minor. But it caused somebody a headache here in Q4, which is something that I try to avoid because I know everybody's running at full speed.
Yeah.
And I have created my own headache here, Shannon.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to hear about this.
Yeah, I'm not going to share I'm going to protect the innocent,
Sure.
but of course, if you're listening, you know who you are on this. And please don't take this the wrong way. It's how things work in our business. But one thing that I have noticed over the years is that the amount someone is spending with us has like the amount, the way we perceive the amount that someone is spending with us does not define how much customer service they are going to need. What defines that is how much that amount means to them, right? So if somebody has a $100,000 budget and is spending $1,000 with us, they're going to want a level of customer service, but they're literally spending 1% of their budget with us, right? So,
sure.
they're spread pretty wide.
Their expectations maybe are lower, or
yes,
not
efficient, or they're more savvy, or right? Like, all of those things can be simultaneously true or interchangeably true.
Yep.
If someone's spending $1,000 with you of their $1,000 budget, then it becomes that $1,000 takes far more to service. And I will say that if the first person with the $100,000 budget is spending $15,000 with you, they're still going to be really easy compared to the one. And it's like, and it's Q4, and I've got this one client, and I really want to get them across the finish line. Don't get me wrong, I value the sale, and this particular sale is actually important to me. But what's even more important is helping these people promote this product that they have come to market with, and it's the first time they're advertising.
Yeah, they probably put their lifeblood into this
thing,
have. Right? Yeah.
They absolutely have. And what they've built is amazing, and I love it, and I can't wait to tell the world about it. And so I hope all of this stuff comes to fruition. But oh man, like the text messages and the phone calls, and we spent an hour on the phone, and now I need to go spend another hour on the phone. It's like, okay, well, that's if those 2 hours are approximately 2 hours more than I spent for the $15,000 client, right? Like,
yeah, sure. And I think it's also
so disproportionate.
And
this is not a complaint. It's just an observation.
Yeah.
It is a frustration, but it's one that I create constantly. So
and I think as they're speaking of like customers, because there's that saying, of course, that a customer who spends less takes more time. They get maybe upset or requires more customer service. Customers that spend a lot of money tend to just blow it off, or not blow it off, but just kind of easier to work with. But
it's about the percentage of their budget, I think.
And that's very true. And I also think it's the maybe it's an education, or a better word for it is an experience thing. Maybe this is their first ad campaign for this brand new product, and they're stressed about it. They don't know how it's going to happen. But 5 products down the road, they'll probably be like, oh, you know what? We just do this. This is the way it works, and it's going to be great. So it's you have to build that experience level up.
Yes, it's the experience level. It is. Yeah. And both of those things can be a factor, right? The percentage of the budget and or the experience with what they're doing. I mean, they might have a huge budget, but this is the first time, say, they're sponsoring podcasts. And so
yeah, that's right.
This is a new thing. They can't just put it on autopilot yet. They need to be in the system and all those things. And so it's like,
yeah. So how do you bring them along to where the next time they're more comfortable? Do you have to just educate them about the process? Yeah, like, we are going to play it. We're going to play what you want us to say. This is how it's going to work. These are the results you can expect. I mean, it's just that continually just, sharing that process with them.
In fact, there was one moment I sent them the campaign, like standard order. Here's what we're going to do. And they came back with like these 10 things. We also want to make sure you mention it this way and this way and this way and this way and this way.
Yeah.
And most of it was like, yeah, that's going to kind of happen automatically. That's fine. One of the things was like a non-starter for me. And I understood what they wanted was, they're going to buy like a 6-month campaign. So one ad per month, right?
Awesome.
In an episode. So, okay, great. No problem. They're like, we want you to just like mention that we are an ongoing sponsor in every episode during that 6-month period. And I'm like, I get that. And candidly, I actually kind of like that. We used to do that on Mac Geek Gab, where we had the people who were just on auto renew.
Okay.
We mentioned them at the end of every episode.
You got like another little nudge.
Another little nudge.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it was like, okay, I like this idea. I'm not currently doing it. I might find a way to reincorporate it. This might be the catalyst to us reincorporating it. I like it. It's something we used to do. It kind of went away. No reason it can't come back. We didn't intentionally do away with it because it was bad. Right. I think it just sort of the market changed, right? And now the market has changed again. So it's like, okay, I like this idea. I said, but I'm not going to put it in the contract because I don't want to commit to it, because if I just did it without it being a new thing that we're doing for everyone that's in this boat, it's going to seem ham-fisted.
Yeah.
My listeners know who I am.
Yeah.
They want transparency.
It's got to be natural.
It has to be natural.
I struggle with the ads too. Like, that's why I love it. Like when we have Notion, Shopify, they're just like, boom, man, this is a text expander. Those are so useful for especially our entrepreneurs and small business owners. It's terrific.
So I did use the phrase "trust me" in an email to them, but what I said was, I'm not going to include this, and here's why. All the reasons I just said. I said, but I want you to get promotion, so you're going to have to trust me that I'm going to make that happen.
Yes. Yeah. And you want it to be natural, because that gives your message and the advertiser's product or service more credibility. You want it to be natural, for sure. So it's fascinating. I love customers that don't spend a lot of money too, especially when you're starting out
it's
new
fun.
venture, new business. Yeah, I mean, those people help you learn. The ones that you're going to make $50 or whatever it is. I really value them. And I think it's just over time, as you get busier with other stuff, your customer service department it's easy this is one of the things that I don't like about being in business. It's easy to get cynical.
I was just going to say jaded.
Yeah, jaded and cynical. And I really went out of my way to walk, and when we were doing customer service training or even in our warehouse, it's like, hey, you have to talk about the customers with respect, because it kind of permeates your whole culture. And if you're ripping on your customers because there's only a small percentage that usually drive you crazy.
Right.
But if that becomes the tone, it can really damage the way you interact. And some people don't know how to turn it off, and they may say things a little snarky to a customer, and that's the last thing you want. So, you can have your jokes or whatever, but you also have to recognize the great customers, and talk about how, man, 98% of them are just awesome, because you can damage your business.
Take a minute. Like you're talking about internally with your staff.
Oh, internally. Because if you're complaining about a customer all the time, or it's natural, we're humans, you're going to gripe about certain things.
Yeah, but beware.
If the tone is negative, it's going to come across in the copy you write, your website, your
No, this has
terms
been
and
good.
conditions.
This has been
We're gonna
good
have to have another
business therapy
topic.
for me.
Yeah,
No,
it
this is good.
Yeah.
Because I needed this. I knew all of this, but it's like today they've been peppering me with all kinds of things, and it's like
Yeah. You have to love them, man, because
I do. That's the thing is, it's like
yeah.
I do love them. I'm
Yes,
super stoked about this.
But they drive you nuts sometimes.
But
And
what I don't have is extra bandwidth
time.
to just give them. I have to remember that the size of this campaign is what it is. I've already spent more time on it than I will every other dollar that we have made this year.
Yeah.
But I need to be. What I'm balancing is I'm not upset with them.
Sure.
Where my frustration comes from is I cannot carve out the time that they are requesting. And maybe that's what I need to tell them. Like, hey, like I really want to make this work.
Yeah.
And I know you're excited. I have to, maybe not saying I cannot, because that's negative.
Yes.
Because of all the things I do, I must compartmentalize my time. And so now I'm be able to spend time looking at this where I wasn't earlier today. And that's simply true.
Yeah, that's okay. And also maybe I find I have a similar thing where, posting on X and trying to give away information and be valuable, you get certain people that, like other people, like, hey, I want to pay you. Can we jump on a call? And it's like,
now.
here, it's for an hour. Okay, great. Well, if I have, here's my calendar, But you have other folks that are awesome, but they're just hammer you in the comments, in the DMs. And I don't want to get to the point where I'm like, oh, I can't even pay attention to those DMs.
Right.
So I'll give them a little information and I'll say, hey, if you want to hire me to assist you, here's the next step. And so maybe laying it out in here's what you get with this ad campaign. We anticipate spending X amount of time helping you set up this and doing this, so they get a better idea of how it works. Or maybe you have to do a Loom video or something where they could watch it and go, especially for a new person that needs their handheld a little bit more. And there's, like you said, they're super valuable. You want them to succeed. That's your business. And
it is,
educating them how this is going to work and to, we got this. Maybe more than trust me is we got this.
I think this is going to have to be an I appreciate your patience moment.
I got it, dude. I got it. I love that.
Well, I mean because it's true. I do appreciate their patience.
Of course.
I want to create a
time.
scenario that's not frustrating for anyone. And so yeah.
Yeah, I do too. And I just want to recognize how I'm stoked that there are 425 streamers.
Oh, we almost made it through an episode without you talking about X. I didn't
say X. I just people watching the streamers. I wasn't going to say it. I've already talked about X like 5 times. I can't help it. I'm building on one platform or another. But yeah, we appreciate you. Following along. If you have questions for us, hit us up on X or feedback@businessbrain.show. We love talking about things you want to hear. We do this show because we love getting together and talking about small business, entrepreneurship, AI, deals, whatever.
That's awesome.
So let us know what you want to hear so we can talk about it.
Yeah. Feedback@businessbrain.show, like he said, or follow him on X, Shannon Jean, or me, Dave Hamilton. At Shannon Jean, at Dave Hamilton. I think they know what we mean. If not, now you do. Have a great weekend. Keep living that charmed life. We'll see you next week. All right, sweet.
All right. Smile so I can get us a screenshot of this 430 listeners. You ready? All right. It's beautiful. Woo! Sweet. I'm stoked. That's great. That's a good rubric. I'm always looking for ways to measure if I'm doing something right.
Yes.
I don't know. Am I ever going to get over that? I think a topic for a show.
Right. You could talk. We'll talk about it. I was going to say you can talk to your therapist about it. We can talk about it, whichever works. Yeah, it's all fine.
Yeah. Always measuring. Will it ever end? Okay, good. Maybe not. Maybe you don't want it to end. So
yeah, maybe.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, folks, thank you so much. Would love to, if you listen to the show, give us a review.
Are you getting any
rating.
comments on X about this? Because I don't think those show up in the comments thing here. Like, are you seeing them? It's
weird. Yeah, let me look right now and find out. I've done it before, and it kind of hides it. There was one. Yeah, I only got one person that commented on my.
I see. I
posted-
generated
yeah.
an image with the
Yeah.
prompt photo
That's
of
it.
two guys doing a podcast with
Grok.
Shannon Jean and Dave Hamilton.
It's pretty good. That's Grok.
I'm looking here.
It's pretty good. I can give you the link if you don't see it. Here.
No, I see it. I have it in front of me. It's right there.
Pretty, yeah, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have tattoos like that, but or whatever. But it's people. I mean, in general, doesn't look like us, but it,
I wonder. So
you
this
think
is
they're pulling
photo,
it from Free Pick?
maybe. Well, it's
Yeah.
photo of two guys doing a podcast, and there's two guys doing a podcast, and then in the picture
Yeah,
is
what is
Shannon
that?
Jean and Dave Hamilton because they made Shannon a woman.
made a woman. That's it.
Yes.
Misgendered story of my life.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you for streaming. Like I said, the episode we recorded earlier comes out tomorrow on every podcast application or platform you can think of.
Wherever
And
you
then
get your podcasts. That's
you
the
got
phrase.
it. And
Yeah.
Friday, wherever you get your podcast, you can hear the Friday episode that we just recorded. Hit us up,
Yeah.
feedback at businessbrain.show or
And
open
answer
up our
that poll.
DMs.
We'll put it in
Yeah.
Spotify, but we'll also put it on X.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm going to end the stream. See you, folks.
Thank you. Later.